Welcome to the Joy of Cruising podcast with your host, award-winning author Paul C. Thornton, a weekly conversation with the amazing cruisers featured in the Joy of Cruising books, comprised of The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, new release, The Joy of Cruising Again, as well as other fun, informative global cruise personalities. It's the next best thing to cruising, hearing about cruising from the unique and diverse perspectives of Paul's amazing guests. If you hear about a cruise that interests you, book it at www.thejoyofacation.com or enter to win a free cruise for two. Again, www.thejoyofacation.com. We really appreciate your feedback, so leave us a text. Paul can't reply, but he may read your text on the air.
Hello, passionate cruisers. This is Paul, and we have a special show for you this week. I am delighted to welcome this week on the Joy of Cruising podcast a special group of guests, the chefs, Jerome Brown, aka Chef Rome, the chef to the stars with over 35 years of professional cooking and the go-to chef for celebrities worldwide. Chicago Chef George Outlaw, specializing in elevated soul food with bold and unusual food combinations. Chef Sondra Rhodes, bringing Creole and Southern country cuisine to your table. And Chef Ricky Simpson Jr., the kitchen renegade, an Atlanta resident whose credo is to enlighten people to a healthier way to make their favorite foods. We were introduced to the chefs on our recent bucket list cruise, the Soul Train Cruise, which we raved about in our reflections of the cruise several weeks ago on episode 165. It was our first Soul Train Cruise. We enjoyed it so much that we booked it for 2026. Immediately after we boarded the Holland America Line New Amsterdam, we became aware of the chefs, albeit in an indirect way. In the buffet, we noticed some soul food items. For instance, there was Ricky's ribs. We said, "Who's Ricky?" Then at the main dining room, throughout the menu was soul food and New Orleans favorites. Things came into perspective when we read the tent card on our table mentioning the chef's return to the Soul Train Cruise for the third year, along with short bios of each. I have hosted several fascinating celebrity chefs on the Joy of Cruising podcast. This is the first time I get to host a team, each a celebrity chef in their own right. Welcome, Chef Rome.
Paul, what's happening, man?
Welcome, Chef George.
Hey, what's good, Paul? How you doing, bro?
Chef Dre.
Hey, Paul. It's good to be here with you.
And Chef Rick, the kitchen renegade.
Yes, sir. Paul and the listeners, what's happening?
He always got to have a title with his. He the renegade. He can't just be Ricky.
Man, hey, no need to be like that. No need to be like that.
So, welcome the chefs to the Joy of Cruising podcast. You know, I didn't get to see each of you up close, but I saw each of you from afar when I was on the Soul Train cruise in February. So, let me say it's great to see you guys again. How's everybody doing? And don't all speak at one time.
Well, Paul, it's great to be seen. I can't complain at all. It's a pleasure to be here on this podcast here to share our love for the culinary arts with my brothers and with you. So it's great. Feeling good.
Listeners, that was Chef Dre.
There you go.
Rome, how you feeling, man? How you feeling, Rome?
Yeah, man. This is the chef. Hey, man. Hey, listen, man. As we used to say when I was in the Army, feel real good, feel real fun, feel like whipping somebody.
Man, it sounds like this brother is crying out for the MC battle of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll just jump in, man. I'm doing well as well. Great to be on here with you, Paul. Can't wait for the next cruise. We're looking forward to it. We got some great things lined up.
That's Chef Rick, the kitchen renegade.
Yeah, this Chef George. Like I told you, I am as cool as a fan on high. I'm good, man.
Yes, sir.
Chef George from
I'm
Chicago. And wrapping up is...
I was just saying, hey, man, it's an honor and pleasure to be on here with you, Paul, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing cruise, brother. So it's good to see you again.
Great. Well, thank you all for taking the time. Before we discuss the Soul Train cruise, each of you take a couple of minutes and tell our listeners about yourself. I gave just a little bit of bio in the beginning, but talk about where each of you are from, where you live, anything else you would like to share. George, why don't you start first? Let's go, what's that, clockwise.
There we go. Hey, Paul, I'm the new kid on the block, man. I just got with these brothers, and I'm from Chicago. Been cooking about over 20 plus years, but had the opportunity to connect with these brothers, and it's been words can't even express, the ups and downs. But we're brothers. Love these guys, and happy to be a part of this the Avengers in the culinary game. Yeah.
George, let me ask you a question. Did you know anyone before the Soul Train cruise?
Yeah, I knew him. I met Chef Rome, God, it's been over 15 years ago via Facebook.
Okay.
And just reached out to him, and this brother answered me back. And it was a couple of years before we had actually met afterwards. And he introduced me to Ricky. And Rick, who's also from Chicago, we connected. And these brothers been all over the world. And they saw something in me that they welcomed me to the team. So, yeah.
Great. Chef Rick?
Hey, first of all, it's an honor to be here joining you on the Joy of Cruising podcast. And I was honored when you reached out to us and said you wanted us to be a part of this great platform. I watched a couple of your interviews, especially the one with Carol Riddick, just to hear Carol Riddick speak to you and have a good conversation, man, that gave me even more fuel to get on this and bless the listeners. But I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I reside in Georgia now. And, I get a chance to get on this cruise with my brothers and put out some good food, which the people deserve. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Is a lack of words when you get a chance to get on the Soul Train cruise and experience it the way that you have now, Paul, and that you will again. So yeah.
Chef Rome, give us your where you're from, where you live, anything else you would like to share. So the question is whatever you want it to be. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind is that, I get to do this with my brothers from other mothers, and I love it. We say whenever it's an event or something that comes up, we call it battle. And I can't say that there's anybody else I would want to go into battle with than these three gentlemen here. We get to travel all over the world. We get to have some adventures and meet new people, new places, and we get to see the world together, man. And so it really is a brotherhood. It really is opportunity to continue to learn and grow. Well, how's the saying goes, iron sharpen iron. And I get to learn something from these gentlemen every time we go into battle, right? And even the Soul Train cruise. The Soul Train cruise is it's the premier party on the waters, in my opinion. I mean, there's other ones that we've done, like the Tom Jordan Fantastic Voyage, which is always amazing. But I don't know. It's just something different about this one, and I enjoy them both But, this is the one that I get to do it with all of them. Usually it's just Chef Dre and I when we do like some of the other ones. So for me, it's always a privilege, man. I'm originally from East Orange, New Jersey, Warren, Ohio, but my mom was a Carolina girl. And so I spent a lot of my time in North Carolina too. So you being outside of Charlotte, I used to live in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
I used to live in Charlotte. Yeah, man, right off of Pineview, Matthews Road, and right up the street from Ray Rhodes. So I love Charlotte. I think it's a beautiful city, man. But now I reside here in the south suburbs of Chicago. I got married, and so this is home now, just outside of the Windy City.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, yeah.
All right, Chef Dre.
All right, Chef Dre here, hailing from the wonderful, wonderful, blessed city of New Orleans. That's where I hail from, born and raised. And obviously, I feel like I get my cooking chops from my home city, have some lineage in Mississippi as well. So some of that comes from there. But right now, I'm in Virginia, right outside of the DMV. Started this culinary journey, is what I call it, about 14 years ago, and met Chef Rome shortly after I decided to embark on this passion of mine to determine how I could make it a profitable thing, but not necessarily the only thing, but more so the experience. So going on these cruises, as Chef Rome has indicated, such as the Tom Joyner cruise, and obviously the Soul Train cruise has been the epitome of our cruising experience, and it's just been a joy blessing the folks with some good eats and better experiences.
Now, each of you guys, I usually, when I have a guest on, the listeners who are mostly members of the cruising community, but they're also newbies who aspire to take their first cruise. So tell the listeners your cruising background. Was the Soul Train cruise or the Tom Joyner cruise, did that introduce you to cruising, or did any of you have a cruising background before you started being a chef on a cruise ship?
Well, I could tell you for me, and this is Chef Rome, I could tell you for me that the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage was my first cruise. And actually it was my first several cruises until Soul Train cruise came along.
Mm-hmm.
I've only done one other cruise that wasn't chartered, and that was the Disney cruise when we took the kids, man.
Okay.
Otherwise I had never been on a cruise. And I tell you this, after being on charter cruises like Tom Joyner and Soul Train, I don't particularly want to go on any other type of cruise. It's not going to be the same. I don't need that much quiet in my life. I ain't there for that. And I have way too much fun. And we feeling the love and the energy from fans that have an expectation when we show up, when we hit that kitchen. They know we're there. They look for us. And so, yeah, that was my first experience with cruising, and I ain't going back.
I heard that.
I was just going to say, Chef Rome, my listeners have heard me say many, many times, there's nothing like a theme cruise, or what you call the charter cruise.
Right.
I've been on Smooth Jazz cruise, Maxwell cruise. I don't know if y'all have heard of Festival at Sea. And there's nothing. I call them theme cruises or charter cruises. I call one big family reunion, because everybody's there for the same purpose, whatever the theme happens to be.
Right.
Yep. I would agree with you. Look, I went on one cruise before I had the experience to go on the Tom Joyner cruise with Chef Rome, and I can tell you, after that, I said that was like cruising on steroids, and I had no desire to go on any other regular cruise. Right? The atmosphere, as you said, it's like a family reunion on there. The music, the comedians, and don't talk about when we get in the kitchen, because we put out some great food and wonderful experiences on these boats like none other. And that's not just me saying that. That's what's being said by those other cruisers that gets to enjoy the food. They get to enjoy the interaction. As Rome said, they look for us. They want us there. They enjoy us being there. And you're not going to get that type of experience on any regular cruise. So after that first one I went on, I ain't going no more regular ones. Now I've been on about about 9 or 10 or so after that. But all have been what we call theme cruises or charter cruises, right?
Right. How about you, Chef George?
Yeah, and
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chef Rick.
I was just gonna say, man, listen, just to kind of piggyback off my brothers, man, my first cruise was the Tom Joyner cruise, and I'm gonna give you a little history on it and how I got on that cruise. My brother Rome, we were having a conversation. He was like, man, you know what? I think you would be great to come on the cruise, man. They're looking for somebody to kind of be the liaison between the chefs, the celebrity chefs, and the cruise chefs. So he put me in contact with a lady by the name of I forget it. What's her name?
Devetta.
Yeah, Devetta. He put me in contact with
McIntyre,
Devetta, and Devetta, she put together this amazing cast of dope Black chefs. And that was my first cruise that I'd ever been on. And the first day I get on, Common Sense is on the stage. Tamar Braxton. Snoop Dogg was on my floor. He was standing on the same floor as me. Man, listen, the whole floor was very bright. I'll just say that. But after that one cruise, it was so hard for me to think about any other cruise besides one that was a theme cruise.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a music lover, if you're a music of the arts, if you're a music of comedy, if you're a fan of comedy, a fan of great music, a fan of great food, that's the type of cruise you need to be on. A Soul Train cruise, a Tom Joyner cruise, but definitely the Soul Train cruise because we holding it down on the food. We got that on lock. But just to jump back, I've been on probably 6 cruises so far, and all of them have been themed cruises.
Okay.
From the Tom Joyner cruise to the Soul Train cruise.
Hey, well, for me, mine was a little different. This Chef George. I had put together cruises for some years, right? And I never experienced anything other than a good time, right? And these guys, when they were telling me that they were, we were going to do the food for the Soul Train cruise, and each one of these brothers kept saying, you'll see. So it was like, okay, it's going to be a different experience. And when you're in the back of the house, right, it's a different experience. And yeah, I wouldn't want to go on another just like regular cruise. So the Soul Train cruise was my first theme cruise, and it totally blew my mind because on 2 levels, the entertainment, which was just crazy, and then the food and being able to prepare the food just made me appreciate it even more, and got a lot of love for the people that work on these cruises, because I think they're the forgotten ones as well. So yeah, but it was amazing.
Now I want to ask you about the origin of the Soul Train, not the cruise, but having chefs on. But before I ask you that, the single most important question of this conversation or this interview or whatever you want to call it, are the chefs back for 2026?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Yes,
sir.
That's
yes,
all I need to hear.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, listen, we swinging for
most
the
of the
fences.
cruises.
Now open the doors of the church.
And if the listeners could see me, if this was a video podcast, I'm grinning from ear to ear because and this is no lie. Well, we made the decision to book 2026 while we were on the cruise. There were a number of factors that convinced us, hey, this is all that. But and I told this to Kyle Riddick. Someone mentioned Kyle Riddick. Kyle Riddick. So like stars, performers who I had never heard of. I mean, I knew what to expect. The Al McKay and the Earth, Wind and Fire All Stars and Charlie Wilson and all. I knew what they were going to provide, but I mean, Kyle Riddick was just amazing, and I didn't know who that was. Now, had I looked her up, I'd have seen that she was all that. She's backed up Jill Scott and all that. So between artists like that and the food and you guys' involvement, I said to my wife, I said, baby, we got to do this again. And now, I'd be awfully salty if we booked and y'all said, well, we're not going to do that this next year.
Nah, that's
absolutely
not
man.
It'll
be a lot of people trying to hunt us down.
Well, we were very fortunate, I'll say, that because at the end of November would have been the end of the contract. Right, it was a three-year contract, and it was just extended in perpetuity until we no longer want to do it. And so that's an honor and a privilege. It's very humbling, and we're grateful for that. We don't take it lightly. And listen, as long as they want to keep eating our food, we're gonna keep bringing it to them. And this past cruise, we took over 56% of the menu. 56% of the menu, and like we took some stuff out, tweaked some other things, and added a whole bunch of recipes to give you that real soul food experience. But what I want to do is really kind of dab into how it all came about. Literally, when something is divinely arranged, that's when it really, it wasn't you. You can't take credit for it. It couldn't have happened any other kind of way. For example, I was traveling for my birthday. I was in Sicily, and one of the young ladies that was traveling with the group I was with she said, you know what? You should do the food on the Soul Train cruise. The food ain't been that good. And she said, I really wish that you could get on there. I said, you know what? I really wish I could. And so anyway, we're traveling on. We finally reached our destination. Later on that day, I decided I was going to go and get a massage. And came back from my massage. Everybody else was out shopping, and my phone rang. Actually, I had a message. It was from my friend and my attorney, Lindsay Maxwell. So Lindsay gets on the phone. I call him back, and he says, "Hey, man, listen, I got an opportunity for you." He said, "My best friend is getting ready to leave, but before he leaves the company, he wants to get you on the Soul Train cruise if you'd be interested." I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Or this is the second time this conversation has come up today. Now, still to this day, that was almost 4 years ago. Those two people don't know each other. They've never met.
So no connection at all.
No connection at all. They don't know each other to this day.
No connection.
Hey, that's how divine intervention.
So I got
works.
on the call.
Yep.
Had the phone call. He set up the meetings. I had the meetings I had 3 meetings before I even flew out to do the in-person stuff. And before I knew it, I was on the pre-cruise. I got the approval of the powers that be, and here we are. They offered us they said, "Can you come on this year? Just, we just want to see what you could do." I said, "Well, look, this is what I need. I got to have my guys with me." And they said, okay. They said yes to that. And they were hesitant, but they said yes to that. And we came on and showed out. We did what we do. And I mean, I realized, man, we do high-end catering all over the world. We've done every type of event you could probably think of, from conferences in Dubai to girls' trips, or you name it, man. We've done it all.
So
when you
say we, is it the same team as on the Soul
Yeah.
Train cruise?
Yes, it's the same gentleman you're looking at right now.
Okay.
Same team. We don't deviate from
Yep.
that.
Same team.
Guys that stir the pot in
Do you
Fan
guys
City.
have a name?
Well, you know what's interesting, man? We had been going by 3v3
That's
because
interesting.
we were doing this chef battle, and Rick was like, you know, we should go by my three versus your three, 3v3. And we fell out laughing, but it stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It stuck, man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it became a 3v3 thing, man, at some point, because, you know, I couldn't go back on the cruise without one of them. If one of them were missing, that would be a problem, you know, because, you know, when they see one, they're like, well, where's the other ones? Or where's the other two? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like I said, man, that was a divine appointment, divine arrangement, and it's worked out, you know, and we're not difficult to work with. We come at a price. They pay that price, but there are deliverables that we make sure that we show up.
Talk about the interaction between you guys and the cruise ship culinary crew.
Oh, we got favorites.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. We got a whole list of them.
Yeah, we got favorites. We got a whole list of them, but I'll let somebody else chime in on it. But I can tell you the experience in working with the crews on those cruise ships have been nothing short of phenomenal. They embrace us. They welcome us. They've taken notes when we in there and stealing our recipes and stealing our techniques and everything, right? They want to take pictures of us. They want to take pictures with us and everything. So it's just been a great experience to be embraced by those individuals. And as you probably know, Paul, but a lot of people might not know, all those individuals are pretty much from some other countries. They're all from all these other countries, and they come together. And I can tell you that I am impressed with them. I'm impressed with their skill set. I was impressed to go on the first cruise and find out that they're making everything from scratch. You know, that they're not back there busting open cans and boxes and freezing stuff and sticking it in the oven. And that was very impressive for me to see that, especially earlier on when I went on the first cruise with Tom Joyner, because I was still very early into my culinary journey. So being able to experience that, but man, they've been awesome. And we just, like I said, we got favorites. We request people. We like, can this person come back on? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, but you got to remember the constant is Chef Pablo.
Pablo
on the Soul Train cruise. Chef Pablo is the fleet chef for Holland America Cruise Line. And he comes on, he makes himself available, and he comes on. And once we go in there with these recipes, you got to remember those people, they make the same stuff every day until we come on. So we totally disrupt everything that they are used to doing and accustomed to doing. So we disrupt that every time, but which means we have to teach them on the fly how we do soul food. But one of the most beautiful things that I've had the experience of enjoying with that is when we get chefs from Africa, anywhere on the continent, and they're like, brother, teach me, show me this. You know, all of those moments are amazing, though. Those are amazing.
Hey, and I gotta agree, man. It's a different energy when you get down in the kitchen, in the galley kitchen of that ship, and you see how many people are actually putting hands on food, and how many people work tirelessly around the clock. Like, you know, the same people that you see at night in the kitchen is the same people you see in the day in the kitchen. But it's like you see the pride in the food that they're putting out. They have a serious passion for what they do. And when we get in there, we just come in with love, compassion, a little bit of soul, because man, let's be honest. When we get in the kitchen, we're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have some fun.
That's what I'm about to say. We're gonna have fun. We got our music playing.
Music bumping.
He limited. He said little soul. We bring a lot of stuff. We bring everything in there. We have them singing. We have them dancing, and everything, just enjoying their experience, because it's probably a little more serious when we not there. Right?
Exactly.
Right. And I will say, I noticed on all the theme cruises I've been on, you notice the crew members who are really into the music and into the passengers, and so it's sort of a party for them too.
Yeah.
And then with Star Vista Live, the company that does Soul Train, they're doing a country western one, a rock and roll one, a disco cruise, and on and on and on. So the crew, they get a chance, just for a week to just, be a country star, be a rock and roll star, or whatever, Now, yeah.
Not to cut you off, that's funny when you mentioned the country western. We got on there a couple days before the Soul Train cruise, and the energy was totally different on that cruise ship from the staff. You could see how they were like, okay, let's change it up. And as soon as all of the people got off, and the music that was playing throughout the ship, once it changed to like Casey and the Sunshine Band and all that, the crew and everybody, the whole energy just changed.
So you came on early, so you got to experience a little bit of the previous cruise.
Oh yeah.
Boy, did we. That country music cruise. Yeah, we experienced it. Yes. We got the experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no way we could come in the same day that the passengers come on and have that much gumbo and collard greens and macaroni and cheese or fried chicken.
Oh man, stop.
No way we could do that the same morning.
Lamb chops.
Catfish.
Yeah, liver and onions.
Smoked ribs.
You know what I mean? Baked beans, turnips.
And don't forget that sweet potato cornbread.
Yeah.
Or the sweet potato cheesecake. Or that fried cabbage.
Or that New Orleans style bread pudding.
Oh.
How did the crew do a lot of eating of your food?
Of course. Yeah. Hey, yes.
The little bit that's left over.
Yeah.
Right. They was waiting for the leftovers.
Right. They was hoping it was some leftovers. And every now and then there is some leftovers, and it don't last long. They mollywop that.
Look, so we have daily we have a tasting of the menu so that we can make adjustments and we could taste how the food is going to be produced for the night. And during the tasting, when the staff gets a chance to taste the food, it's like some of the plates just disappear so fast, and nobody gets a chance to eat it, and somebody's off in the corner dogging the plate.
Hey, Paul, the pastry chefs, amazing.
Oh my!
All the desserts. I mean, Dre's from New Orleans, right? So that New Orleans style bread pudding, everything. Yeah, those guys were amazing.
They are
amazing.
Yeah, that's my single favorite dessert is New Orleans bread pudding with white sauce. I was before.
You mean bourbon sauce?
That bourbon sauce.
That black Eden bourbon sauce.
Before COVID, we went to Essence each year.
Okay.
So I'm a sucker for New Orleans food.
That's what's up. And then you gotta soak them. You gotta soak them raisins in a little something. You know what I mean? Little southern comfort, a little bourbon. You gotta soak them things in that.
Why am I high?
all I had was bread pudding.
That's all you needed.
So someone mentioned you're up to X%. I'm pretty sure I heard 56% or 58% of the menu. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
56%.
That was me.
So what was it like the first year? Did you grow to that, evolve to that, or?
Yeah, of course. But let me say this. The first year was a year where they wanted to see what we were going to do. Did we understand the assignment of what the hiring group, which was Star Vista, what it is that they wanted to do, because it was their 10-year anniversary. So they literally was taking a real chance on bringing in these Black chefs. This is something that had never been done before. We literally made history on the cruise. And Paul, I could tell you, and within the first 2 hours of being on a cruise, man, they ate 500 pounds of collard greens.
I don't mean to laugh, but just
nobody believed it. He was like, nah. They had to call Puerto Rico and order some more. I was like, hey, man, if you don't get some more collard greens on here, you're going to have a problem. So they called ahead to Puerto Rico. And when we pulled it up, but the greatest portion of that in the first year was to see elders on the ship, people who were in their 80s. Mm-hmm. That I know one lady and her husband, they called me. He said, come here, and went over to them, man, and they started to cry. And he said, never did I ever think I would see this in my lifetime. Yeah. He said, what you three have done has blessed my life. He said, man, I never thought I would see this. Oh, that's three black men doing this. And at an excellent level.
Yeah, it was very empowering,
man.
Yeah.
It was empowering. We got sound advice from an older lady who was like, she grabbed me by the hands and she said, stay focused, keep God first. She said, that's what God is saying to you, stay focused. And, for me, it was like receiving the blessing over us to continue doing this and continue to evolve. No, we wasn't doing 56% of, and tell you the truth, I don't want to do 56% of it again. That was some work, man.
No more.
Lot of work.
No more. Hey, Rome. Right. Yeah, and Rome, I'll say this, like, they really enjoyed the food, obviously, but I watched our and I hope I don't offend anybody. I watch our elders embrace us, and they really just enjoy how we interacted with each other. And they spoke on that. They watched how we enjoyed being with each other. They watched how we interacted and tried to touch as many tables as possible and give hugs and pictures and conversations. And for us, it was just a magical moment to get embraced like that by people that we knew had been successful in life, and they're enjoying life, and they were the examples that we were trying to aspire to, and they were really enjoying and impressed with what we were doing, but more so just impressed with our character and how we interacted with each other and how we entertained them and interacted with them. And that really stood out for me with those individuals on that cruise, especially that first one.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. There was so much going on that we missed a whole lot. Did you ever, either this past February when we were on or over the years, have you all offered like cooking classes or demonstrations or anything like that?
We do a live demo on the cruises. We actually, and that was going to be something I was going to follow up what Dre was saying. Just getting the energy off of the guests that are on that cruise, especially when we do the live demonstration. So many people show up for that, and I appreciate the people that come out. We have Jason and Toure come bring that comic relief so people can laugh, while we're doing our thing on the stage.
It's actually not even a demo. It's an actual show. We do a live show, and it is just that, because demos is almost becoming a thing of old, to tell you the truth. But we actually give you a whole show, and we do everything from signature cocktails to we still got the banter. We introduced Chef George this year while he's back there making his own drink, and but it was amazing, but they packed the room. Like at first it was just like a few people. Now they know to come a couple of hours early, some of them, so they could get the seat that they want, and they don't mind waiting. And the crazy part, they want to be there because it's usually at a time where lunch is getting ready to start or some other show is getting ready to pop off, and they choose to see. And we don't just do that one. We actually do the wine pairing as well, which is amazing because it's for the Don Cornelius Foundation. So Tony has this food and wine pairing, and that is a sellout from the jump. It's been a sellout every year, and every year they got to add more and more seats, but it's only so many seats that they could do. So it's always something pretty amazing to see. So,
Rome, I thought about something, and it's not the Soul Train cruise, but it was one of the experiences we had on the Tom Joyner cruise, and you could speak to it because he told you this, right? And I'll let Rome speak to it a little bit because he's a better storyteller. But as Rick mentioned, we just brought out just some dope crews, some dope chefs in their crews, and we were on there all just putting out some amazing dishes. We was crushing the kitchen, even to the point where Mr. Joyner Jr. Approached Rome, and he was like, and Rome would tell a little bit better, but he approached Rome like, man, hold up, what's happening here? Y'all taking away from my artists. I'm paying these people to come on here and perform, but we got lines and people waiting to get in the dining hall. They're not even going to the concert.
So it was Kim.
Because they was waiting to get in.
It was Kim on stage. Kim was getting ready to go in. Kim is a hot artist. And his show was amazing if you haven't seen him perform.
It is.
But it was the year of the anniversary, and they did a takeover. So they brought 10 Black celebrity chefs on.
Wow.
And so not only did we have 2 days of chef battles, which was like epic, man. When I'm talking about coming up with some of the most amazing on-the-spot dishes that you could ever think of, it was that. And it was in such an intimate setting. Like you look up and people are all looking down on you from the other floors. Plus everybody's crowded around on the floor. You can't go nowhere. You just got to stand there flat-footed and do your thing. Yeah. And the crazy part about it, Oscar imagine people trying to get into a Michael Jackson concert in his heyday. That's what it was like with the people trying to get into the dining room to get our food.
Yeah,
man, we got video of that somewhere.
But I got that video.
People were like, it was like trying to get.
As soon as we opened the door, we said, "Hey," and everybody just started cheering.
Yeah, you're talking about at least 1,000 people trying to get in at one time. He said, "Listen, man, I can't have the food competing with the artists." I said, "Then I don't know what you thought was going to happen when you brought us on here. We didn't come to play. These people know what we get ready to do. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I said, then you brought all the most popular Black chefs, at least 10 of us, at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna come eat.
Hey, Ron. That was the year. So the way that came about is that was the second year you had put me in tune with the Veta. And I said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we do a dining room takeover? And she just paused for a second. She said, you know what? That sounds good. And that's what they came up with, man. And it was magical, man.
And they had Chef Tiffany Derry, they had Darius Cooks,
Chef
they had
Huda.
Chef Huda, Chef Maxwell Hardy, may he rest in peace.
Yep.
They,
Tobias.
Oh yeah, Tobias. Yeah, like these are people these are chefs that are all still very relevant in the culinary industry and leaders in the field, man. Huh?
No, just
Chef Jannard Wells, of course, man. I mean, you got hit makers on this
you had
in the culinary
Chef
world.
Rome and Ricky the Chef.
now you use the term chef battles. Now I've heard of DJ battles. Are chef battle, is that a thing, or is that just a figure of speech?
Is it a thing? Is it a thing?
Oh, yeah,
Paul, no, it's a thing. There is. It's like the show Chopped, right? Matter of fact, they call it the Chop competition on the show on the ship, and it's like that. But no, we're literally. Rick comes on. He puts together this crazy mystery basket. He might give you something stupid like jelly beans and hot dogs and sweet
grapes?
Potatoes and smoked grapes. And you gotta use all this stuff.
Smoked grapes.
And you better come up with a 5-star meal. And it is a battle because we have 30 minutes to like kill it. And you have to make 5 portions for everyone. And so, yeah, man, it's a real battle.
But when I said, is that a thing? Is that I think of like, the closest big city I am to, Charlotte's a big city too, but like Atlanta. I mean, do they have sort of similar events in big cities where celebrity chefs get together and do their thing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, because you have the World Food Championship, which is the largest food sport in the world. And this is where you go to compete for a world ranking. Chef Rick and I, along with Chef Jannard Wells as a team, we took 8th in the world in 2016.
Oh, wow.
In seafood out of the top 1,000 chefs. So you have all of these satellite battles in other states trying to get a gold ticket, to be a part of something so prestigious as that. So yeah, it happens all over the United States, man, and not just for that, for different causes. Like we go to different high schools, and as part of our give backs and charity events to raise money for their culinary programs or what have you. So we have friendly battle competitions and things like that. Yeah, man, it's all kind of amazing moments like that take place. So yes, absolutely.
I know next year, one thing I'm going to do differently. I learned my lesson again with people like Cal Riddick. I'm going to go see everybody, not just people I've heard of. And the other thing is, I now know to look for events and classes and things that you guys are involved in, because when we got on this year, we didn't even know that they had special chefs. My first hint was, and I think I mentioned this in the intro, we were in the buffet right after we got on, and I saw like Rick's ribs, and I'm like, well, who the hell is Rick? So that was the first hint, that there was something going on. And then, of course, when we went to the main dining room, we saw, the tent card that was on the table.
So let me ask you something, how did you like those ribs?
Oh man.
They had to wipe the sweat off his head.
Every time we either went to the buffet or to the main dining room, we got something that clearly was influenced by you guys. This is not something that would be on a menu on a cruise ship, where we go on cruises all the time. So yeah, I loved all the food. And it was clear. Now I know for sure, because of Chef Dre's introduction, it was clear there was a strong New Orleans influence. And now I understand why. So.
But you know the beauty.
Well, that wasn't just because of me. I would say now largely influenced by me, and obviously I probably touched most of the stuff that was on there that was from New Orleans. But these guys love the city too, and they love the food. They love the food out there. So it's funny because as we cook and as we are doing menus and things like that for different proposals and so forth, some kind of way we gravitate to at least something on there that's from New Orleans.
So why don't we do that? Let's go around, Dre, your cuisine, your philosophy, well, let me just ask it this way. For each of you, just say something about your style, your philosophy, culinary philosophy, and your signature dish.
Hey, I got a little something for you. So my culinary philosophy is.
By the way, this is Chef Rick.
This is Ricky the Chef, the Kitchen Renegade, and my culinary philosophy is don't burn the food. just don't burn the food. That's all I got for you. But I like to approach food from an angle to where, that food is gonna sing to you. The moment you bite into it, it's gonna sing to you, and every time you chew, it's gonna be a little bit more of that song, right? And that's the love that I'm putting into that food. And I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing it since I was 11, cooking and just trying to find different ways to display my love on a plate. Signature dish, I don't know, maybe my lasagna. I'm gonna say my lasagna this time. I don't even have a signature dish. I just like to cook. But my lasagna.
I'm gonna say this about Chef Rick's lasagna. I've said it many times. I'm gonna say it again. Rick definitely has the best lasagna I've ever tasted. And I've, Dre, I've told you that, right?
You have
said that many times. And I've been to Italy. I've been to Sicily. I've been, all over the world. And he hands down has the best lasagna that I've ever tasted. So.
I am honored, brother. Thank you.
That is quite an endorsement.
Yeah. And I don't take it lightly. Trust me, man. I'm so honored to have made his favorite lasagna, his favorite anything. You know what I'm saying? Rome is my big brother, man. I look up to him in the culinary world, and just to hear those words, man, it means so much to me. Thank you, brother.
All right, who's next?
Oh man, I guess I'll go. I started off by saying, obviously, heavily influenced by New Orleans.
Let me interrupt. Listeners, this is Chef Dre.
There you go, Chef Dre here, talking about my influences in cooking and style of cooking. I don't know about having a style of cooking. I can tell you like this. I got to the point where some things I can smell it and know that I seasoned it right.
If you ain't sneezing, you ain't seasoning.
You ain't seasoning. And there's some things that I tried to practice to the point where I can season it one time and not have to go back into it. And that's when I know that I got something right. And that's how I kind of learned how to cook. Rome has talked to me about, oh, you cooking French style. You don't even know it. You're right, I don't. Because I'm not classically trained, influenced by my brothers here and mentored by my brothers. So, the style is love. People ask, well, what do you do with your food? What you put into it? I just put love into it. I'm going to cook it, and I want to make sure it tastes like something that people going to put in their mouth and close their eyes and make that involuntary noise. Right? There's nothing like that immediate.
Involuntary. That sounds right.
Hey, it's not like that immediate response when you watching somebody take a bite of something that you just created and they close their eyes. And it happened at one of the events we did. We was doing a ladies trip and we was doing some food and we had little friendly competitions and stuff going on. So we was really intensely watching them eat their first bites. And I can remember when I created my new salmon cakes, and that was one of the first times that I had created that dish and that recipe for it. And I watched one of the clients put her fork in that salmon cake and put it in her mouth and closed her eyes. And she just was sitting there with her eyes closed, just shaking her head, right? And that's when I knew I had something. So that's when I knew I had something. But, I just cook with love, man. Just cook with love and want to prepare some things that people going to feel loved and feel the energy when they eat.
Hey, what's the signature dish, though, Dre?
Man, that's hard because my favorite dish probably to make is probably shrimp and grits.
Man, bump all that, man. I'm going to give you a signature dish, and it's gumbo.
I'll take it.
Listen,
I'll
man.
take it.
It's gumbo. It's gumbo. Be right.
Man, listen.
I had them both on the cruise.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That gumbo.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Brother.
Yes, sir.
Chef George?
Yeah. Again, I'm the new kid on the block. So with these guys, their cooking style, man, it's amazing. And I try to pick up a little from each one of them, but I cook I cook from abstract thinking, right? And meaning that whatever, I think you can make anything good, right? When you cooking from the heart and you cook from the soul, right? And grew up in a time where, I saw my mama make black-eyed peas just into like immaculate dishes, so when I cook from a point of first, I know I'm gonna eat it.
Right.
Yeah, that's first and foremost. Because you know what? And I approach cooking like this: like a doctor, a pilot, and a police officer and a chef. You can't have an off day, because your off day is somebody's first experience of your food, right? So I always go in it with the approach of like, this is going to be somebody's first, right? And you only get one time to make a first impression. So I love to cook from an abstract view, like if you got some blueberries and making like a blueberry barbecue sauce or something with fresh blueberries,
Blueberries.
Oh yeah, Rick, don't give me that look, man. Just trying to just not think outside the box, but know that you're cooking from love, and whatever it is you love to do, man, I try to put it on the plate, man. I can't.
Rick, what's wrong with you, man?
Huh?
I'm talking to Rick. Like, what is wrong with him?
Well, Rick being Rick. So yeah, man. So a signature dish, it would be a simple black-eyed pea salad.
There you go.
A simple black-eyed pea salad. But I'm always evolving. So I love learning. I love in the kitchen just making something simple. Like I just did some stuffed peppers up there using chorizo and ground beef and topped it with some pepper jack cheese and one with some provolone cheese, right? Just a simple stuffed pepper. Making stuffed pepper. So yeah, I don't try to be complicated.
You know something you said, Chef George, and I might get the words messed up a little bit, but something to the effect of, first and foremost, you cook for yourself or something like that. You cook,
Yeah, I cook. I gotta eat
something you would eat. Yeah,
something that I would eat.
I once interviewed someone on the podcast. Now I didn't interview her as a chef. I interviewed her as a cruise personality, because she was a cruise personality, but had been formally trained as a chef. What was interesting and what made me think of her when you said, cooking for yourself, she hates vegetables, but she's a chef. And I just, I found that really interesting. And that's what I thought about when you said that.
Hey, Paul, on that same line, I'm allergic to shellfish, but I can cook it.
You can.
Yeah, I love it.
You can. You cook it, but you don't eat it.
Yes, but I can't eat it.
Okay.
I can't eat it. And I love shellfish, you know.
George called us up one day. He was like, hey, man, I can't come because, you know, I broke out. And he sent us a
Hey,
picture.
like Martin fighting Tommy Hearns.
Yo. Yeah. He sent us the most jacked up picture. I said, nah, bro. Your wife did that, bro.
You should have just said, baby, yes.
All right, Chef Ron. Last but not least,
man, you know, as someone, I would say, it's in my blood, right? My dad was a chef. My mom was a dietitian and a short order cook. And my mom was also the youngest girl of 23 children, where everybody had to learn how to cook. I mean, they grew up on the farm, so you know they put in tobacco, they raised pigs, and they had a cow, and they had chickens walking around in the yard. And so when you talk about fresh and controlling how things were fed and cooked, you know, I would see that every summer that I would go to North Carolina, I would see that. So my experience of farm to table is authentic, and it wasn't something I had to practice on. It was natural from the time I was a child. Every summer, coming from leaving New Jersey, going down to North Carolina, my grandmother had one of the most amazing gardens that I will ever remember. And, you know, fresh tomatoes, fresh corn, peanuts. We would actually walk along the wood line and we would see wild berries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. We saw all of that. And we would pull those off and wash nothing and just pop it in your mouth. And it was the best thing. I remember my grandmother going and pulling enough berries, blueberries, to make a blueberry cobbler.
Hey, did y'all ever take the honeysuckles?
Every day. Listen, bro, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And we just pop it right in your mouth, man, and it would be the most amazing thing.
Sweet little treat.
You know, yeah, it is. And, you know, and actually, she kept a pan of biscuits biscuits and baked sweet potatoes were always on the stove. Every day, sometimes a couple times a day, biscuits. So that's where I attribute getting my biscuit recipe from my grandmother, you know. But through the years, being a U.S. Army cook and working under different executive chefs around the world, man, I just tried to glean everywhere I went and learn something new, something different that was always gonna enhance what I was doing. I tell young chefs all the time, be well-rounded. Don't just learn one thing. Challenge yourself. That thing that you hate doing, do that. Perfect that. That thing you despise doing, not can't do, but just don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Chef Ron,
yeah.
What was that for you? What was that one thing that you know you procrastinated on and now you've mastered?
Hey, was it peeling potatoes since you was in the Army?
No, we had a machine for that. No, I didn't. For me, I was a sponge, Paul. I wanted to learn everything. So it was nothing. Now, I would say the one meal that I'm cool with, I don't ever have to cook again, is breakfast.
And that's crazy.
Ironically, I don't like.
And that's crazy because I love cooking breakfast.
Isn't that easy?
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It's nothing hard about it. It's very easy, but from a chef's perspective, I deal with people in their mornings. That's what I don't like. Coffee drinkers can't eat until they had their coffee. They leave that little nasty spoon that everybody done stirred with. They leave sugar everywhere. It irritates me. I can't stand. And breakfast seems like it's never going to end. I despise cooking breakfast.
Hey, now
but I
listen,
can do it.
that's
And
one thing I can
it.
agree with you
I can
on,
do it
bro.
right.
When you're in the kitchen, and you have to serve that many people breakfast, it does feel like it will never end.
It seems like it's never going to end because people move at different pace. It's morning. So some people are jump starters. Some people got to get it to pull it together. You know what I mean? Some people, they don't have a choice, and you can tell they don't have a choice, and they mad about it. All that energy
So, Ron,
is too much. It's too
what's
much.
a perfect breakfast for you? Not to cook.
Not cooking one. Listen, I love the breakfast foods to
You
eat.
just don't want to make.
That's not the issue. I just don't want to. I just don't want to be bothered with people first thing in the morning. I just don't.
Hey man, when we use it together, I'm the one that's making the breakfast.
We know, Rick.
Yeah. Rick makes some.
Now you know why.
Well, Rick makes some really good biscuits. He makes some really good biscuits, man, and I'm giving him his props on that. But we can't give him too many props; it's gonna blow his head up.
So, Chef Ron, what's your signature dish?
I mean, I have a few, but I would think my greatest go-to is the lobster pancakes.
That's a good one.
Oh man, lobster pancakes.
Yeah, I serve it with Asian pineapple. An Asian apricot sauce, dipping sauce that we make.
Now describe. I've never had lobster pancakes. Describe what that is.
Delicious on a plate.
Right, and what it is, Paul, is something you owe to yourself.
Oh, I know.
I take
now. I want to have because that's my favorite food, lobster.
Yeah.
So, but I've never heard of that.
Yes, that's why it's a signature dish, Paul.
Yeah,
it's where I dice up a medley of fresh bell peppers, pure pieces of lump lobster meat just diced together, the claw, the tail. I saute it in garlic and butter, and I toss all of that into the batter, and I cook it. I cook that into the homemade pancake batter, and see, people get twisted. Pancakes wasn't necessarily a breakfast item. Pancakes was something created in China, and then we westernized it, but it's an anytime day of day item actually, and so
the one in China is the scallion bread.
Absolutely, and I put scallion in the lobster pancake as well. So we chop all of that up, man. We toss that in the batter, so you're getting sweet and savory, and it's an amazing balance. Amazing balance, and then when you add that Asian apricot sauce, man, go over that. Oh man, you just get some yumminess,
Hey,
man.
Paul.
Yumminess.
Man, I want to speak on those lobster pancakes real quick because I got a love-hate relationship with them. Right? I love it when we make them because I'm gonna get a chance to eat them again. I hate it when we make them because we can never make enough of them.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I got a story for them lobster pancakes. It actually was the first time I ever worked with Rome. We was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we did those lobster pancakes. He showed me how to make those lobster pancakes with him. We were literally serving those lobster pancakes out of the damn skillet. And they were eating them that fast at that event, at that house. They was eating them that fast that we was literally cooking them and serving them out of the skillet.
Hey, and look, and even in the house, you probably still had a line.
Yeah, we did.
It was waiting.
That was the thing.
We did. They were sitting around waiting.
Well, earlier I asked, "Were you guys going to be on next year?" And I said, "That's the most important question I have for you." Here's the second most important question I have. Though, is the recipe for lobster pancakes on your website?
No, it's not, and that's intentional.
Right.
It's intentional. It's
We're
intentional.
businessmen.
We'll make them for you, but Yeah.
Pay for that.
All I would do is give it to my wife. She's the cook,
we
not
don't know her
me.
like that, Paul. We don't know. We not give it
Right, Paul. Hey, Paul. I told you I'm allergic to shellfish, right? Them lobster pancakes, damn near made me just want to just say, let me get a neppy pan, right?
George said he was
gonna risk it all.
The EMT's on standby.
Right.
So, well, guys, promote yourself. Any events or venues, chef battles, anything coming up that you can tell the listeners about, and those of us who are within reach of any of those, maybe we might want to attend.
I'm gonna start off by saying follow us on IG.
We
My
are
3 versus your 3. You'll see all of us. Yeah. Come on,
just like it
come
sounds.
follow
Okay.
us.
My
All right. So
is the number 3 VSYO 3. My 3 versus your 3.
My 3 versus
your 3. Mm-hmm. Well, I will say that I think our biggest news is that we do have a collective cookbook coming out later this year, and we are in talks in putting together a tour for next year. So and for those of you who are listening from Dubai, we will be in Dubai in September at Kiza Restaurant. Kiza is a Pan-African restaurant. It's going to be dope. It's going to be amazing. We're doing a dinner. We're doing a day. Yeah, we're doing a day party. It's a takeover at Kiza, Dubai. And if you dare, from September 9th through the 16th, yeah, we're going to be there getting it in for you. And we coming with guns blazing too.
Well, you just turned me on to something, because I'm going to be in Dubai next month.
Sounds like a second trip coming for you, Paul.
Well, go by Kiza.
Kiza,
man.
Kiza, okay.
Right, it's a dope
Kiza
spot
restaurant.
Too. It's a real dope spot.
That's
and I will tell you this: they have some of the hottest hot
amazing,
sauce I have ever tasted in my life. That hot sauce is blazing.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, man.
When you go there, these guys keep telling me about this fried chicken.
Oh,
y'all gotta tell Paul about the fried chicken.
No.
In
Dubai.
At Kiza?
No, this ain't that Kiza, but it's in Dubai at the Dubai Mall. Let me tell you this.
Look at it.
Good God Almighty. It's Mall of Emirates actually where you get it, but it's called Al Bake. Al Bake. BAK. ALBAK. Al Bake. This fried chicken, you come back and you let me know if I'm lying or not. It's the best fried chicken you will have ever tasted in your life. And I mean in your life. Popeyes, and I like Popeyes chicken, but Popeyes ain't even close. Not even close.
Well, that's too definite for
you gotta write that down, man.
Dubai.
Al Bake.
And my listeners know, after each one of my cruises or land trips, this is actually going to be a land trip. My wife and I come on and we do kind of a reflections podcast. So listeners, you'll hear my report from Kiza Restaurant. And
listen, Paul, when you go to Al Bake,
guaranteed.
They have this chicken
it's at the Dubai
sandwich
Mall
called the double bake. The double bake. When you get this sandwich, remember I told you this will put every chicken sandwich that was in the chicken sandwich wars to sleep.
There you go.
I
will definitely report on it. Hey, I want to go back, Chef Ron. I want to go back to the cookbook.
Okay.
Now that sounds very exciting. Yeah. I mean, really exciting. In fact, maybe when that's published, maybe you guys come back on.
Sure.
The question I have is lobster pancakes in the cookbook?
Hey,
no.
You are relentless.
Oh man.
No. Paul, it's in my first cookbook, Paul.
Okay.
Eat Like a Celebrity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in my first cookbook. And I actually regret putting it in there, Paul, because that's one of those things where when I show up, you can get it. You know what I mean? But it's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. But before we go, I want to make sure you got it right. ALBAIK.
Okay.
ALBAIK. That it's at Dubai Mall.
Yeah.
Okay. You owe it to yourself now.
Paul, this is Chef George. I got a couple questions for you. We're gonna flip the tables. Hey, when you coming to Chicago, man?
It's I'm open. You got an event you doing?
Hey, Jerome, what about the thing with Touré? The brunch.
Yeah, okay. Listen, he ain't locked those.
Okay.
He locked we'll keep
that. Y'all keep me posted.
For sure.
But before we let you go, a couple of light, even fun questions. But let me preface by acknowledging some of your social media following is listening. So welcome. We hope you have enjoyed listening to the Joy Cruising podcast, and we'll come back to listen to additional episodes or follow us on IG. So guys, so that your fans and friends and social media following can learn a little bit more about you, for each of you, how do you spend your me time?
Mm-hmm. Me time, man. That's a hard one because I don't know about me time or what me time I have. It's usually something to do, but I'm a gym person. I ride a Peloton bike. I read a lot. I like movies. We travel. I try to travel personally just as much as I travel for work. So all those things, and just spending time with my kids. I have two kids. One is an adult, but I still try to spend time with her just like she a kid too. And one 15-year-old. So
there you go.
My me time is their time.
George?
My me time, I like to smoke good cigars, drink good bourbon, and eat good food. I travel, but really it's sitting in the back in Wakanda, and having a good stick, listening to some music, and having a good pour.
Good.
And yeah.
Good. I have a question coming up about music, so we'll get back to you on that. Chef Rick?
Yeah, so my free time is usually spent with my wife, my children. I got 2 dogs at home. Listen, I just like to have fun, relax, enjoy myself. I'm also a gamer. So you might catch me on Call of Duty getting it in with my son and one of my really good friends, man, from so many years ago, Rodney. But yeah, game, maybe some food. I don't know. It just depends, as long as I'm hanging out with my family or my brothers right here that are with me.
All right. Chef Ron?
I would say that my me time is like Rick, spending time with my wife, family. And there are days, man, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. There's days I don't want to do
That's fact. I don't know if that got nothing to do with you being older or not. You're a little older than me, but shit, I feel like that too.
Well, you know what? I think because my thing is I travel so much. I'm always on the road. And they'll tell you I should have been a truck driver because listen, I'm platinum with Delta, but I'm also a road warrior. I'll jump in my car and I'll drive
You double
for hours on end. So, and it doesn't bother me. It don't bother me. So, but that in those drives, it gives me time to think, to pray, to come up with new ideas and recipes. It's when I have my best phone calls as it relates to food, because it's just me in a row and I'm just thinking. You know what I mean? And so I would just say, my me time is just that. It's just doing me. and enjoy my family.
Okay. Again, for each of you, since our audience is largely made up of the cruise community, when you're on a cruise, what are your favorite cruise foods and cruise drinks?
Cruise.
My favorite.
Man, we kind of biased.
Cruise
Hey,
food?
Paul, we kind of biased on that.
This is Chef.
We kind of
Chef
biased on
Brown.
that.
I suspect you are.
No, it's actually. But you know what? I love smoked salmon, so I am looking for the smoked salmon when I get on there, and lox and bagels and such. So that's one of those things that I'll grab on the fly. You know, if I just gotta get something quick.
Listen, I got two of them. One is the pancakes in the Pinnacle Grill. Those pancakes are ridiculous.
Oh man, real.
Like seriously ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you get on there, you owe it to yourself. But my close second, and I don't, I eat beef and pork sparingly. But whenever we get on this cruise, all of us have to go get the sticky ribs.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Man.
The sticky
That's a
ribs.
good one.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
Those sticky ribs are, man, listen.
Morimoto? Is it Morimoto? Is it?
Yeah.
Those sticky ribs.
But you know what he changed
For the
it
listeners,
up,
that is a specialty restaurant on Holland America.
Specialty restaurant. Yeah.
And those sticky ribs are one of
they something different. Them sticky ribs are something different.
Yeah. You won't eat just one of those. So
I can tell you, man, for me on cruises, and it's not just the Holland American cruise or even the Soul Train cruise, I'm a burger person. So I'm gonna go get me a burger and get all my fixings on that fresh cooked burger anytime I'm on. The rest of it, I'm just trying to eat what we cooking, for the most part. I'm eating in the dining room. I'm trying to order and taste everything that they putting out, but I'm gonna get me a good burger everywhere. They know I'm gonna get a burger everywhere I go.
All right, that's Chef Dre. Go ahead.
Yes,
who was getting ready to say something?
You know what?
Okay.
This George. For me, I hate to say it, but I love me a good chicken.
There you go.
Oh, you had to do it.
I know.
Now, none of you mentioned your cruise drink.
Okay.
Oh, well, you know what? When we do our live show, we all create crafted cocktails pretty much on the spot.
And what do we use?
They give us a bunch of
Black Eden bourbon, baby.
Black Eden bourbon.
Yeah.
So turn us on.
Black Eden. So Black Eden bourbon it's a Black-owned bourbon brand created by Iconic Spirits. They're based out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, right outside of Detroit. But Black Eden is the nickname for a town called Idlewild. And Idlewild was the city back in the day that our Black celebrities had a safe place to go in their own community with their beautiful homes, like Madam C.J. Walker and Thurgood Marshall and people like this. All these people would come to this area in Idlewild, Michigan. And
there was a movie called Idlewild, right?
Yeah, it was. But the movie is a bit misleading in terms of its geographical location. And I enjoyed that movie too, with Outkast as the stars. But Idlewild, Michigan is literally, the nickname of it is Black Eden. And so it's Black Eden 1912 or 1812 right now. And matter of fact, I'll show you the bottle.
Now, while Chef Rome's getting the bottle, do they serve that on the cruise ship?
Well, we did this last. We did this last
on the Soul Train.
We did do it this last cruise. Yeah. We all made signature drinks using Black Eden bourbon.
Okay,
and that was at our that was at our live show.
Okay, but it's not at the bars on Holland America, or is it?
But they are going to put Well, so we're working on that right now. We're actually literally working on that right now. We have a call set up in the coming days with Holland America about having it on the ships. But you can go on the website, Black Eden, but it is and order your bottle. But it is an amazing, it tells a story on the back of the bottle. There's a beautiful historic context of that, but it's Black Eden, 1912. You see the map of Idlewild, the water, and so on. And but it's a straight bourbon whiskey. So, and it's 90 proof, and it is good. But we take that bourbon and we turn it into these amazing cocktails that, for people who think they don't like bourbon, we show them that they actually do. They just didn't. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, and this past year we also used it for sauces.
Yes.
And all that.
We said it.
Yeah,
the
the bread pudding sauce we used it for.
Yeah.
Used it in the barbecue sauce. We used it in the barbecue
the
sauce.
sweet potato cheesecake. We use it with the pecan glaze.
Hey, so Paul, our signature
So
drink. You heard of Arnold Palmer, right? So
the soft drink.
Yeah, but I do a thing. I just call it a Tiger Woo Woo, and it's the Black Eden and lemonade. Because the Arnold Palmer is like iced tea and lemonade, so I just kind of flip it.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. Tiger Woo Woo.
I like that, man. I like that.
Next question for each of you. Turn us on. What are you listening to these days on your headphones, Bluetooth speakers, or however you consume media?
Oh, that's a Rick question, man. Rick is our residential. He's our residential DJ who prides himself on have anything in his playlist that you can.
Oh, I got him a couple times. He didn't have everything. I got him a couple times. No, I got
it. Hey, it's always one player hater than everybody.
He did get you, Rick. He did get you, Rick.
All right. Well. It sounds like you're the music guy, Chef Rick. What turn us on?
So if I'm gonna, first and foremost, I'm gonna start off with inspirational, because in the beginning of your day you got to start, man, and set a tone, and as long as you have God and Yahshua, Jesus within your life and the start of it, everything.
And then he turned on Sexy Red.
So, oh no, you listen. No diss to Sexy Red, but you won't find that on my playlist. But I'll start off with like Miranda Curtis. She has a new project out that is amazing right now. And then Carol Riddick has another one. I have I'm wide range. I go from Carol Riddick to Eric Roberson to Leon Thompson. He has one, Vibes Don't Lie, which is, man, off the chains. No, man, it's been a lot of good music coming out. Some Roots, a little, I like a little Mystical. You name it. Charlie Wilson, the Gap Band, Zap Band, Average White Band, Foreign Exchange. I know I'm going down the list, man. I can name them for a long time.
Mentioning Charlie Wilson, that brings me to a question that I forgot to ask you guys. I mean, I love Charlie Wilson at the Soul Train cruise that I went on. Over the years, you guys have seen it all. What has been your most moving performance?
That's a tough one.
Oh man, oh my goodness.
Well, I'll say mine. It's probably going to seem. Well, I'm a hip hop head, so I fanned out when I got to see Scarface. That I just gotta give that up. The artistry of that guy, and growing up listening to the Ghetto Boys and listening to Scarface and being from the South, that was dope. And I also say that one of the first Tom Joyner cruises, my man Juvenile came on, and I was just like, they not gonna be in the Juvenile. They're not gonna be in the Juvenile. He came in there and shut it down, completely shut it down. And I was just thrilled with that. But yeah, that's where
I
I'm
think
at.
for me, we've seen so many amazing performances, man.
Yes.
I had never seen the OJs until I did the Tom Joyner
Great
cruise
show.
one year, and man, the OJs was
That was
so
a good
good. I was just blown away, and I was blown away,
Yeah,
man. They
he
were amazing. Them New Edition is always fire to watch in concert. Um, but then
Mhm.
like to see and I'm an old school hip hop head, man. To see the likes of Dougie Fresh and LL or what's my man from Cali? Oh man,
Oh, Too
no, no,
Short.
no, no,
Too
no.
Short.
Oh,
Rick,
DJ Quick.
Who you
Rick,
talking
who that
about?
plays the classic piano? Oh my God! If you never
DJ
seen
Quick.
DJ
Oh
Quick,
yeah,
this brother,
that was
he put
crazy.
on a show.
That
It's
was
so
crazy.
you didn't know, it's not just what you see here on the records. These cats are so beyond talented. I didn't know that all the boys, the men, play the guitars. They play different. They're all self-taught. They were amazing in
Yeah,
concert. So
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
for me,
It's too many to name, man. Yeah,
Every Sunshine,
Avery.
yeah.
Yeah, she was. Oh my goodness, Sunshine. Yeah, yeah, Sunshine.
hey man, it's a lot, man. It's a
Hey,
lot that
hold on.
we've
What about
seen. We've
MC
seen,
Light?
especially all the old hip hop cats,
MC Light.
that came on there.
Yeah.
Were right, right. Shut it down.
The Isley
Sheila
Brothers.
E.
Shut it down.
Sheila E. A
Early
Oh
very.
yeah.
season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. Come
Oh
on.
man. Right. The
Shirley Caesar
Temptations.
did give it to you. But you know what? I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you, the Kurt Franklin concert was off the chain too.
Ooh. Mary Mary.
No,
No, remember that
Tamla
Mary Mary
Man.
concert?
Tamla Man. Let me
Tamla
tell you
Man.
something,
Oh
man.
my God.
Everybody forgot they
That
were
was
sinners
crazy.
for a minute. And boy, when Tamla Man and Mary were in concert on the same night,
Man.
back to back,
Oh my
they
God.
slayed.
I was
You couldn't
so
get a
Hey,
seat in there.
That's
You could
Stephanie
not
Mills, that
get a
baby
seat.
face.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw
yeah.
Tamla Man on a show with Kirk Franklin here in
Mm.
Charlotte not that long ago.
Yeah. There was a show though I could say that I don't care if I don't ever see it no more. I didn't need to see it then, and don't think I saw the whole thing.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I know
Oh
what
my,
you're talking about.
oh
Don't be
my
like that. Them ladies
God.
was loving that. Them ladies
Oh
was
my
loving that.
God. I didn't need to see. That should have made that a ladies only show. That wasn't for me. I ain't need to see
Now you
that.
gonna leave us in mystery?
I said it. I said
Well,
tank.
he said
Tank.
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 Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
I didn't
okay,
need to see that. I didn't need to see that.
okay. I missed that.
That should have been it shouldn't even allow no men in there. That just let that be a ladies only show. Because it
Yeah, yeah.
was
I like Tank's voice, but he gets a little too heavy with it sometimes.
yeah, I didn't need to
So,
see that, man.
last question. Last question, and this is for any or all of you. What's your most memorable or funniest or even most embarrassing cruise or port experience?
My most memorable cruise was the first Soul Train cruise. And the reason being is because there were so many of my elders that were on there paying respects to something that, God had given me that has taken me across the world, that has made room for me. They say your gift will make room for you. At the time of touching tables on that first Soul Train cruise, I understood what that meant because so many people were pouring into us. So many people were giving us love. So many people were giving us accolades and saying and this just goes back to what Chef Rome, Chef Dre, and Chef George has already said. But they were pouring the energy into us, letting us know that we had achieved something that they thought they would never see in a lifetime. And these are some of the guests that were on there were people that have gone through a tough time, in African Americans' history. So to see them shedding tears of joy because there are Black men standing in front of them, living to a very high part of our potential, that did it for me. That was my absolute favorite part of the cruise. And yes, this is Ricky the chef saying this. I want to make sure that you all know, everybody that shed a tear on that cruise, you have given me more energy to continue to do what I'm doing.
I think I would have to second that because, again, just to piggyback off of what Rick just said, I don't think I had any embarrassing moments, but yeah, it was like receiving a blessing to move forward and that you can do this. And I didn't realize that we had actually made history. I didn't know. I didn't know that we actually had made history. And, we certainly didn't do it alone. We had to have the support of the ship. I mean, think about it. We're cooking for 3,000 people, right? We're cooking for 3,000 people every meal. And we do breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night, room service, specialty events, steakhouse. Like so we touch so much, and to have that kind of covering, I just think that is like the most amazing thing that I could have ever experienced on the cruise. The fans are always great, even on Tom Joyner, Fantastic Voyage, Soul Train. The fans are the fans, and they show love. They let you know when they don't like something, but they sure enough let you know when they love something. And we haven't had many moments where they didn't like something. And but when you're cooking for 3,000 people, you can't always please everybody. And because there's three sisters from LA that corner me every year. Every year, and they want to make sure that I up the ante on the vegan food some more every year, and they try to get it to a point where the whole menu is just vegan. Ladies, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And so yeah, man. I mean, I just had to. I agree with you, Rick. Those people that pulled me to the side, and I will say this: this started out as from Star Vista standpoint, we're going to hire Chef Rome. And for me, I was like, okay, I received that, but I realized that what that meant was I'm just a gateway because I can't do it by myself, right? I couldn't do it by myself. Had to be something that I pulled in people that I trusted and trust the most. That, these brothers I can confide in, I can talk to, I can be transparent, and they're the same way with me. We brothers. And so we have our moments where we disagree, right? But we become a well-oiled machine over the years. And you're talking, we've been doing this since what, 2012? Since like 2012 together.
Did you have something, George?
Yeah. I was gonna say, the thing about the cruise, because it was my first one, right? So I got baptized in the Lake Minnetonka, literally and figuratively, on this cruise right here. It was everything that they said it was going to be times 10. But I wouldn't trade the experience in for nothing in the world. But there was a gentleman that we were all having breakfast that rolled up to us. He said his name was Uncle Leon. Call him Uncle Leon. And this brother, this elder, right? He poured into each and every one of us, didn't know us. And he talked about how proud he was of us and to keep doing it. And he touched each and every one of us individually in spots where it's like, we didn't even know this guy, right? So that right there was a boost. And on that cruise one night, I ran into some elders from my church.
Yeah, I remember that.
While I was there, right? And And they were saying, they were proud of me because I was with these guys that had been cooking, and they had been on all these cruises, and this was their favorite cruise, right? And they're proud of me. And this is my first time out the gate with them. And that poured into me. And that was the rocket that just kept me going. And it's one of those things where it's beyond the food. It's the affirmation that you get from our elders.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on the Joy of Cruising podcast. I am quite serious about when y'all are ready to publicize your cookbook, you got an open invitation.
Appreciate that, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
We'll definitely hit you up, sir.
So keep me posted. In the meantime, all the best in your respective careers. I look forward to seeing y'all again in February. And as I like to say, we will see you on the ocean.
My man, peace, bro.
Take care, Paul.
All right, take care, Paul.
The Joy of Cruising and Cruising Interrupted, each $16.99 plus shipping, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again for $18.99 can be ordered at the link on thejoyofcruisingpodcast.com. For each of the 3 books, use the discount code Joy of Cruising Podcast and get $4 off. The Joy of Cruising books are also available at Amazon. Order the ebook at Amazon or your favorite online retailer. Stay in touch by joining the Joy of Cruising Podcast Facebook group or following the Joy of Cruising Podcast on Instagram. We're constantly adding new shows. Please leave a review and tell a friend about us. We hope you enjoyed this brief escape to the ocean. See you next week.